Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam. Salam Malaysia Madani. Terima kasih kerana menghadiri sesi pada malam ini. Saya akan moderate sesi ini. Bersama-sama saya adalah YB Chang Lih Kang, Menteri Sains, Teknologi dan Inovasi, serta dengan Mr. Lee daripada Brilliant Prima. Sebelum itu saya meraihkan juga Yang Usaha IR Muhammad Firuz Aznan, Presiden UTP, Yang Berbahagia Datuk TS Dr. Nur Azman bin Hassan, Timbalan Ketua Setiausaha Pembangunan Teknologi MOSTI, Yang Berusaha Puan Ruziah binti Haji Syafi'i, Timbalan Ketua Setiausaha Pembudayaan STI, Yang Berbahagia Profesor Datuk IRTS Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim Abdul Muttalib, Provost of UTP. Saya Julia Abdul Karim daripada Agensi Nuklear Malaysia, antara salah satu agensi di bawah MOSTI. Saya sebenarnya sangat terkesima dengan ucapan YB tadi, menggambarkan keseluruhan nuklear, aktiviti nuklear yang berada di apa yang kita telah jalani sepanjang penubuhan nuklear reaktor di Malaysia. Sudah lebih daripada 40 tahun sini. Dan saya juga sangat terkesan dengan perjalanan Brilliant Prima daripada awal sehingga sekarang have made so a lot of progress. Now we are doing more progress. And student, please take this opportunity. Hantarlah CV General Manager yang telah offer untuk internship dan sebagainya. Okay, I hope student will still awake. Sekarang dah pukul 9. Are you okay? Tak dengar lah. Are you okay? Alright.
The night is still young.
Please pose more questions ya. Nanti kita boleh test jugalah sama ada you all stay awake ataupun dah lena. Okay, let me keep the ball rolling to YB. Simple soalan je YB. So, what do you think in the next 10-20 years, what are the priorities of nuclear innovation will be happen in Malaysia? And we're talking about AI, blockchain, big data, and all those things.
Thank you, Dr. Julia. In fact, I'm not worried because if I cannot answer any question, I will just ask my agency to answer. Agency Nuclear or expert from Agency Nuclear. And thank you for the question. In fact, I mean, to me, my own imagination is, I think, of course, first of all, we need a lot of innovation. So when we talk about venturing into exploring in this nuclear power generation, I think we are not talking about the old ways, the old reactor, how to operate in a conventional way, but we are also looking at how to innovate from the already existing technology. So if you ask me 10, 20 years, maybe, as you already mentioned, I think there will be more element of AI in terms of nuclear development. But at the same time, I also see a few potential R&D. I don't know whether I can see in my lifetime, but I think, for instance, nuclear fusion, nuclear fusion. You know, something like it's like you are creating a sun and you will get unlimited energy. It's very amazing, but I'm not sure whether I could see in 10-20 years. But I think it will be heading towards that direction. One is nuclear fusion. Of course, we are going to use all these enablers like AI, quantum computing in managing or in nuclear R&D. And another segment or sector I think maybe could happen is also on thorium reactor, because now we are using uranium as fuel. So thorium is another possible one, much safer and less radiative. Then So I can see, I mean, India and China, they are already in the process of researching, and even they have their own molten salt thorium reactor, which will be commissioned in 2028. So for Malaysia, in 10 years to come, maybe this is also another field that we can start researching. Thank you.
Thank you. The YB sounds very, I mean, 2028 is not far from now. Now kita 2025. I think students, you have to be prepared yourself by learning something related to the nuclear field, yeah, fusion, especially on the fusion. So talking about fusion, I would like to ask Mr. Lee. Now, whatever you shown us before is related to X-ray to detect on the radiation that coming from that electromagnetic. And how do you prepare your company when the fusion energy arrives? So how the detection system surely will be changed. How you detect the fusion is no longer same as when you detect the X-ray. How do you prepare the company or yourself to do that area?
Okay, so that is a very good question. So by that time, my company definitely know so-called the fusion or fission the leader. But for us, we are definitely helping for the detection side for the government agency to do something like whether there's a radiation or this kind of leakage. So now all the material detection are still based on the 20 years ago the material. So for us, we need to engage with the material engineering or fundamental science team to come out the new material, and using the latest the silicon photomultiplying tube SIPM, this kind of the technology in the miniature for every personnel working in the so-called the nuclear industry to wear, so that this one will become the active alert to the people. Because right now, currently, a lot of the devices are still using so-called the passive, like the OSL, TLD, so not really the useful. So for our aim in the industrial side, our aim is to reduce all the costs, to prepare something like the link out to our so-called the smartwatch, everything to link the thing and send back to the regulator body.
Thank you, very interesting. So yeah, I think let's take some question from the student. So this is, I mean, this session is more to engage on the student. Okay, anyone has question to our minister and Mr. Lee, please use the speaker and ask some question. Yeah, I believe you muka semua ada banyak nak soalan nak tanya ni kan. Please don't be shy. Just grab this opportunity, because after this, yeah, please. Your name and the question, please.
That's mine, yes.
Yes, okay. Assalamualaikum, my name is Hamzah Al-Assad, but people in here call me Hacky Boy. Yep, call me Hacky, I prefer that way. So my question is, according to the nuclear punya energy, I focus on nuclear energy lah. We don't have one yet, right? Based on my own findings, the American and the Chinese punya research into nuclear power plant demands more on the private sector in the America and government sector in the China. So how about Malaysia? Is it going to be state-owned or is it going to be a private constitution? That's it.
You mean the nuclear power?
Yeah, specific to nuclear power plant, because...
Can you, to YB?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think it's, yeah, thank you. It's okay, thank you. I think it's a very good question, but for Malaysia, when we venture into something major like this, definitely they have some role of, government role in the whole setup. It can't be entirely private. So maybe we can see a collaboration between government or government-linked companies like Petronas or TNB, or a new entity, but is government linked. So that will be more possible, more likely. Handed over to private. I mean, just like that. Okay, so it will be more at least government linked if it is not government owned. Yeah.
Okay, any more questions? Right. Yes, please.
Hello and good night. I actually would like to ask Mr. Lee this question. Earlier, we were quite interested and fascinated with Billion Prima, as well as your company technologies that you guys do. So the question is, personally, I think the scanner technologies were something that's very new, as you said yourself tadi. Like it is only one in the world? No.
Yeah, the only one in Southeast Asia. Not only one in the world. then I will become the unicorn company already.
Yeah, so it is only one in Southeast Asia, isn't it? So as the CEO of the company and the one who started the company, I'm actually quite curious, how did you build the company lah? Do you, before starting the company, do you actually went through PhD first and do your research and findings, and then you have this idea to, you know, commercialize?
Understand. Okay, this is a good question. I think I answer you. Okay, thank you, the ladies. In fact, our company started this business was so-called a coincidence and opportunity. So I personally not PhD, but under me, I have around 7 PhD in my company. 7 PhD. I hired a PhD from software, electronic, and also the science. And then we also engage closely with the faculty science of UTM. So actually, I work with the very famous lecturer in the area, and then they come out the so-called the science theory to back up me. I'm the engineering background, so I use the knowledge and I convert this. I lead my own team to make it happen one by one. So when the time I started the business, it's like this. I learned the theory from the lecturer, Prof. Suhairo. They all guided me the theory, and then I personally is an electronic background. I'm the electronic background, so I lead my team to start with the control system first, and then later on I engage and hire the top PhD from the UTM to do the imaging, and then I also invest the grant into the university, let them to do for us. So this is how we started, and along the time we conquer a lot of the problem. And then we also link with other university, and recently I go with the UCSI. So because every university they have some so-called how do I say, some very unique idea from all the students. So every year or every few years, I will slightly change our collaboration partner from different faculty or different university so that they can bring the new idea. Don't worry, my company, I'm the oldest one, I'm the old man already. All the people is like the young people like you. Okay, they bring in a very fantastic idea to me. Okay.
Does that answer your question, yeah? Okay, I saw, yeah, please.
My question goes to the second speaker. Maybe I'll be the next PhD you hire, who knows? First of all, I want to know if Billion Prima is open to all internationals, or is specifically for Malaysians. That's the first question. The second question is, I discovered when I travel around countries and I get to the airport and I have to face the scanning system, I have to pull my watch, my shoes. Even at the time, I even forgot my watch because of the rush. So I don't know if the system that was designed by your company, if they took in ergonomic consideration, whereby one can just, as you are like this, just get scanned. You don't need to put your shoes, put your belts, and other things and put it in the tray. Before you put them back on, you discover, oh, you've forgotten, and once you've forgotten, it's gone. So I don't know if such considerations were made. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I answer your first question first. So far for the PhD, unfortunately, we temporarily reserve the opportunity to the local Malaysian because I have a slogan here. I want to make all the technology developed by all the Malaysian. That is the slogan that I always sell to the customer. Okay, so maybe if let's say I grow better, maybe, are you from Africa? Okay, actually last week, I have an Africa company, the custom department visit my factory. Maybe if let's say I have the business deal there, then maybe we can consider you, okay? Okay, this is the first question for you. So the second question is like this. Yes, you are right. Why you need to take up the laptop, watch, everything outside your bag? The reason is that is the 20, 30 years before the technology. So that's why I mentioned the current one is all using the CT machine. So you no need to take out your water, your laptop, anyone from your baggage. The reason is all the previous technology cannot really penetrate through your luggage or in your bag. So the very complexity electronic PCB will block the thing inside. So the aviation authority have this kind of the rule to ask you to remove. So for your personal belonging that on your body, there is another technology with ionization radiation or non-ionization radiation technology to do the inspection for your body scanner. So this is also in my company research direction. So far, as you mentioned in the last few slides, the CT machine, next time, hopefully you no need to remove everything, you can put inside. Okay? You under, okay?
Interesting, Okay, yeah, yes, I saw someone raise, yeah, please.
Alright, hello. Assalamualaikum to Doctor and good evening to YB and also Tuan Lee. So my name is Ahmad Wafi, final year student chemical engineering. So I might have two questions actually. So, but before that, I believe that MOSTI is very crucial ministry in Malaysia that shaping the future of Malaysia. So congratulations to YB lah, leading the future of Malaysia. Yeah. So my first question is, maybe it's not a bit related to nuclear. It's related to the rocket launching at Pahang. So yeah, referring to your statement last year, one of the factor on your statement, one of the factor maybe one of the factor that we want to establish the rocket launch in Pahang is because we want to be ahead of Indonesia, right? So my question is it really we want to establish just because of we want to be ahead of Indonesia, or is it necessary to our Malaysia to establish the rocket launching? So yeah, and if we want to establish, is it our manpower and our system ready for that rocket launching? That's the first one. You want me to proceed to the second?
Can I mean we just collect first.
Alright. So regarding the second question, this is related to the nuclear, because I have seen the news recently. Indonesia is planning to have the nuclear plant in Kalimantan, in the Borneo side. So because of the rivalry between Malaysia and Indonesia, we don't want to be behind Indonesia, right? So I believe that yeah, that's the thing, because also this is related to the Asian Championship juga lah. So actually I believe that agency nuclear already established for such a long time. So in your opinion, maybe Tuan Lee boleh jawab juga, in your opinion, why still we don't establish a nuclear plant in Malaysia? Yeah, because of, I believe that this nuclear plant really a necessary energy. It is a green energy and also can replace the non-renewable energy such as petroleum and natural gas. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If I were in the parliament, I would say I jawab soalan apa? I bagi jawapan bertulis, because it's not related to nuclear. The first question, but well, I would love to answer. Thank you for posting that answer, that question. In fact, okay, just want to clarify, we have not decided where to locate that rocket launching pad, but well, of course, we are planning to have a rocket launching pad, not because of we want to compete with our close neighbor like Indonesia, but because we need to, well, it's for commercial reason. This is a commercial thing. So you know, there are the demand of launching satellites are high, very high in the world. And then now, if you want to launch a satellite, you have to queue for very long. And of course, it's expensive. So it's a good business. But in this area, I mean, Southeast Asia, close to the equatorial, of course, we have our advantage. Closer to the equatorial, when we launch a low orbit satellite, we will save fuel, about 30% of fuel. And of course, we are close to Equatoria, so is Indonesia. So, I mean, in some sense, yeah, we are competitor, but not because of Indonesia. We want to have it fast, but we see if we do it fast, then we have this first mover advantage. And of course, we are pushing this. But this will be a private finance initiative. We are not going to use government money to build that. And to answer your question, whether we have talent, okay, whenever we venture into a new technology field, we always need to have a collaboration with our other partners. For instance, 40 years ago, we wanted to build our first national car. So then we are not ready to have a manufacturing plant entirely run or operated by our Malaysian, 100% Malaysian. We were not prepared. But we need to start, I mean, somewhere. Therefore, we started with the help of our Japanese partner. So same thing, I mean, same thing will happen in all these new technologies. So is the rocket launching facilities. So definitely we will need help from other partners, but we will ensure in the process there will be tech transfer, there will be talent development, there will be, you know, once we have our rocket launching facilities, the entire supply chain will come. Now, no reason for them to come. Because we are not launching a satellite here. Once we have a satellite launching facilities here in Malaysia, the entire supply chain will come. So all the vendors will come. So that will help us to build our space technology ecosystem. That is first question. What's the second question? I forgot. A nuclear power plant. Yeah, that's why tonight we are talking about nuclear power plant. It's very important, and thank you for agreeing with me. In fact, we have no choice, but we have to if we were to achieve net zero emission by 2050, if that is the target that we want to achieve. And as we know, to have a base load, steady base load, you need to have something like nuclear or combined gas turbine or coal, because others are intermittent, others clean energy like solar, wind, those are intermittent, so it can't be base load. Therefore, we have to have our, we have to explore into our nuclear power generation. In fact, why we didn't start earlier? Because before this, we have oil and gas. We are big in oil and gas. So why other countries started earlier? Well, because they do not have oil and gas. So they have to venture into, they have to explore, and they have to go into alternative because they don't control the source of power. So now, of course, one thing, oil and gas is also depleting the supply. And the other thing is the global trend. That's why we talk about ESG, we talk about SDG. S is sustainability. So those are very important elements in the future. So we have to start venturing into clean energy like nuclear. So I think we can't do it immediately because if you look at other country experience, besides building the physical infrastructure, you still have a lot of things that we need to comply. For instance, like regulatory, for our laws, and a lot of conventions or covenants that we need to sign the international document before we can commit ourselves into this nuclear power. But it is in the process already. But this one is not because Indonesia is building one in Kalimantan, therefore we want to build another one in Malaysia. Definitely nothing to do with that. It's for our own needs and energy demand. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Yes, please. Very interesting, eh? Getting more.
Hi, I'm Theo. You can call me Charles. I'm a chemistry student, currently first year. So I have some questions. So just now, the minister mentioned about our country actually right now is considering transition towards nuclear energy. So is there, I will ask 3 questions maybe. So the first question is if we are to pursue nuclear energy, what are the key foundations that we lack and we have? And also, if we are to implement this, to develop this, is there a concrete timeline of the project for developing nuclear energy? And also, if we are to do it, so at the current stage, so what kind of power plant are we capable of developing? That's it.
UTP, very dahsyat. Oh, very difficult, tough question. Thank you. Well, of course, I think one of the most important element that we need to develop right now, in order to be able to manage nuclear power plant, of course, is talent, because we really need talent. For instance, now in our own facility, we have about 30 nuclear reactor operator. That is only a research reactor. We have only 30, and I'm sure there are only 30 in the country. There are only 30 in the country, but 30 operators are not enough to operate a nuclear power plant. Of course, we will start small. We will venture into, we will explore SMR, small modular reactor. We will start small, but I think most important element is talent development. And I just want to correct a little bit. We are not 100% going to, we are just exploring. We are just exploring. So nuclear is one of them. Nuclear is one of the areas that we are exploring, because we need to achieve net zero by 2050. And the other thing is what? Power plant. Well, I think the second question I cannot answer. I'll pass it to my expert to answer. Dr. Julia, please help me.
Okay, I try to help as as much as possible. So YB tadi mention, we only have 30 people, critical mass, to operate the nuclear reactor, very small one. But in order to operate a large power reactor, for example, 1,000 megawatt electric, or in thermal power, 3,000 megawatt thermal, we need at least 500 personnel. So you see, there are a lot of opportunities and a career path for you to be participate if we have that technology soon. So your question about kind of technology that we are looking, what we are capable of. So in this manner, we need to do the assessment of the technology. A lot of technology available in the market since 1956. YB mentioned tadi kan, first electricity generates from Russian technology in Obnis, just to power a lamp. So from that, reactor technology evolved from generation 1, 2, 3, 4, currently 4. So a lot of technology available in the market. So we have to be knowledgeable enough to assess those technology that's suitable for our country. Of course, we are looking into a proven technology, safer technology, dan sebagainya. Am I answering your? I'm helping YB to answer your question. Yeah.
Maybe just want to add one more thing. Besides talent development is not only for operator but also regulatory, because we need to have a reliable regulatory body to regulate those operators. But otherwise, if the regulatory body or personnel that are not strong enough, then maybe you can't. I mean, you can't regulate them. So we need to have strong regulatory body and also regulatory laws.
Okay, more questions? Yes, please. So maybe that gentleman first and you next, yeah? Because I saw him raise up the hand first.
Hello, am I audible? Yeah. So, Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Have a good evening. And my question is a little bit short. It won't be that much long. So, I am basically Mustafa Salad and I am from Pakistan. And I am very glad to hear such nuclear talks over here, because I see it as a long-term and effective energy solution. So, talking about nuclear energy, there is a lot of talks going on, but right now in the globe, that it is also a mass destructive weapon as well. So, and I see it as a self-defense as well. But talking about the nuclear energy and a lot of chain reactions which can harm the humanity as well if it is used negatively. So talking about that, I want to ask that how is Malaysian government gonna cope that question when it will become to the front step, that how are they gonna manage it properly and alongside with the regulations. So.
Thank you very much. In fact, Malaysia has been peaceful for a very long time, and we are not interested into developing nuclear weapon. And we are also a party of non-proliferation, and we are very active members in IAEA. So everything we will do according to international standards and laws. So no question about that. And the other thing is, we are also, just like I mentioned just now, I think coming, I mean, in the future, we should also explore into this thorium reactor, which thorium cannot be used as a weapon. And I'm sure even uranium at that volume also cannot be used as a weapon, right? I mean, yeah. So no question about that. Thank you.
Like this. Okay. Good evening, YB, Mr. Lee, and Dr. Julia. My name is Joshua Lau. I am currently the Deputy President of SRC UTP and also a first-year Electrical and Electronics Engineering student. So my question is more towards the source of the raw materials and for the raw materials to power the nuclear reactor itself. So when Malaysia does end up using nuclear energy, where will we source the materials? Will we be sourcing it locally, or will we have another source? And in regards to the uranium itself, we cannot use raw uranium, and we'll have to enrich the material. So doing that can be quite environmentally endangering. So how does our country plan to prevent any environmental implications, and also how we can keep it sustainable?
Thank you for asking those another very technical and tough question. First of all, because we are just exploring at the moment, and of course we are also discussing about how are we going to handle if we were going to this nuclear power generation. For instance, of course we need to source from outside because we do not have uranium, and another thing is we are not going to do enrichment ourselves because we do not have the capability to do enrichment. So definitely we will need help from our foreign partner, be it French or Chinese or US. So it has to be a foreign partner. I don't know, maybe many years, after many years, maybe we will develop that capability. But definitely for now, I think 10, 20 years, I don't think we will do enrichment in our country. So also on the waste, now we are talking about, we are talking to our foreign partner, potential partner, that if they were to provide the fuel, they are also going to collect back the waste because they can do enrichment or to recycle. So that will be the model, hopefully.
Maybe I can add to help YB a little bit. You mentioned on the enrichment, because Malaysia is a signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which means we cannot do the enrichment more than we are using now low enriched uranium, what we have in Bangi. So we cannot go more than 20% of uranium enrichment. So for the services we might get from overseas strategic partners that can be allowed to do the enrichment. It is not an easy work to do the enrichment because you have to account for this uranium separation unit and many other works that need to be done. So currently we are not doing the enrichment because of the treaty that we have been signed. More question? I think it's almost time, so we can get to, okay, right, please.
Assalamualaikum and a good day to all. My name is Seri Iskandar. I am a postgraduate research student. I have a question specifically for Mr. Lee. As a pioneer private R&D company, what would you recommend or advise to startups for R&D companies? For example, spin-off companies bringing research to commercial sector. Should we focus on product development or expand our customer base or apply for government grants or work closely with the governments? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Wow, this one also very sharp question. So if let's say you are the postgraduate, right, it depends on your personal preference and also the technology on your hand. If you think that your technology is very useful for the government one, I think better engage to the grant under the MOSTI. Yes, because the MOSTI have a lot of the grant and then also some funder like Cradle or the thing. So even if let's say you have some very good concept, you also can like us. I also applied the sandbox. My company also applied the sandbox so that you can get the help from the government to so-called realize the thing. And then you can, based on this, and then you start to pitching to the other investor, even you can, if let's say it's related to the radiation or some detection one, you also can maybe, for me, then maybe we also can invest on you. It depends on the technology that you need. But I will advise that you can draft your proposal and apply for the MOSTI first. Yeah. Yes. No, actually, MOSTI is very helpful. Very helpful. Yeah. I also get the grant from them. Okay.
Okay, one last question. Oh, okay. We have two more. Oh, what? Okay, Ken. Okay.
Hi, my name is Kelvin. I'm a third semester foundation student in computer science. So, a while back, I watched this documentary on Channel News Asia about this rare earth processing facility that's in Bukit Merah, Perak, and it was active in the 1980s but not now. So the issue was there was a radioactive leakage there back then. Technically, they weren't researching radioactivity, but as a byproduct of their rare earth processing, they created thorium-232 isotope, which eventually spread throughout the area and contaminated it. So my question is, how has Malaysia's current nuclear researching facilities learned from this incident to make nuclear research more safer and more efficient, as well as safeguard the employee safety? And have we learned, sorry, let me rephrase that. Are we planning to decontaminate the zone anytime soon to repurpose it for nuclear research? Thank you.
Thank you for asking that question. The site, Asia Rare Earth, situated in Bukit Merah, that is my mother's kampong. So I know I'm very familiar with that area, and well, also, of course, I'm aware about that incident. It was very unfortunate, and then we do not have very tight regulations, and well, that is a lesson that we have to learn. And now, I mean, the area already decontaminated, and now they have built a permanent disposal facility, also somewhere near there. So all the waste already being placed in that permanent disposal facility. And of course, the problem is, we have to take care of it for don't know how many years, millions of years to come. So that is a lesson learned. And therefore, because of that incident, we have our Atomic Energy Licensing Act, which is much more stricter than other countries. Even we are more more stringent than some advanced country. For instance, we need anything more than 1 becquerel per gram, we need to regulate. But in other countries like European, they said 10 becquerel per gram only consider radioactive, only they need to regulate. So because of that unfortunate tragedy, we have this very strict regulation now. And I'm sure for nuclear, we will always adhere to this principle. We always take the most stringent regulations to be followed. So, because that is really a very bad experience for the country. And just now I've said a lot, you see, on technologies, on possibility, on government's view. But I think one thing very important, maybe most important for us, in order for us to implement this nuclear power plant, one thing is very, very important, which is public acceptance. Because if we cannot convince the public, definitely we cannot implement. Therefore, just now from the beginning until now, I dare not use very categorically say, oh, we are going into nuclear power plant. I just say we are exploring. Because of that, because of public acceptance, I think we need to really put in more effort to convince the public why we need to venture into this nuclear power plant. Thank you.
I think the next question from the girl. No more. No. Same question. Okay, same question. Okay. I think we have come to the end of the session. So before we end the session, I would like to have one or two few words from YB. Anything you want to say to the student?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Julia. Thank you very much for staying until the end. This is not easy because I was a student before. I know it's not easy to stay until the end. Thank you very much. And just a few words. I think no matter how the country develop, how technology develop, I think most important is still the person. I mean, your own we need to maintain curiosity. You need to be always curious about everything, and you need to be able to learn even at the age of 70s, 80s, 90s, because you need to keep learning. I mean, my own experience before this, I don't really care about science or technology development in the country. But because I am leading this ministry, so now every day I have to learn new things. Today we talk about nuclear, tomorrow we talk about nanotechnology, and then the day after tomorrow we talk about biotechnology. So every day is a learning curve. Just make sure you are willing to learn, stay curious, and then dream big and anchor your dream into action. Thank you.
I think a few words also from Mr. Lee. I mean, very short one.
If let's say the few words, I think I also can quote it from the YB lah. In fact, for all the students here, majority is the audience is a student. I think you need to utilize this wonderful time, because after this timing, you have no longer have so-called the free time to think and to do for the rest of your life. Because you need to plan your career, like just now the postgraduate to us, correct? You need to use your current time to think what you're going to do and what you're going to contribute to the country. Okay? So, yeah, I think this is a word for me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee. Give him a big applause. Really sad thing to say, but we come to the end of the session. Allow me to extend my sincere appreciation to all participants, students, the panelists, YB Chang and Mr. Lee, and supporting teams for your active engagement, technical insights, and constructive discussion throughout the session. Because some of the questions we never think of. It's very, it's challenging and also very insightful for us. Congratulations, I must say, to the student. Yeah. And we have discussed within these 2 hours a lot of things, from strategic advantage of the nuclear technology, the policy, the application in various sectors, nuclear energy landscape. Like YB said, we are exploring the nuclear energy right now, and the career opportunity in this field, what has Mr. Lee has been offering or mentioned to us. And the valuable feedback, recommendation, and shared experience from the panelists have been truly enriching all of us. On behalf of the MOSTI organizing team, I thank all the contributors in this session. Please allow me to apologize for the any shortcomings or inconvenience during this handling the session. And I appreciate your understanding, and I thank you for your patience and cooperation. Before we end, let's have big applause for our spirit that we've shown tonight. And with that, I officially conclude the session. We look forward to seeing you again in another session. Thank you once again, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and selamat malam.
Terima kasih diucapkan sekali lagi.